There are tons of bosses in the gaming universe. Some are as lovable as key lime pie, while others are not at all. Unfortunately, today we'll be covering the ones I personally don't like, either because of detestable design, horrible personality, or aggravating boss fight. So let's begin the torture of my top 5 least favorite bosses in video games. I don't actually remember the name of this boss, so I'm just gonna call it Bandfrog for now. Then later I'll write down the actual name. Number 5. Bandfrog, Digimon World DS. Don't get me wrong, I love the design of this boss and everything. I think it looks really cool, especially with all its musical instruments and the fact you have to fight its little legion of trumpet frogs beforehand. But after having my butt kicked by it so many times, I eventually just started getting depressed and having my soul crushed because of how badly it was kicking my butt. I didn't even have this much of a problem with the Skull Dragon boss, and that's saying something because it's pretty tough to beat. But this one right here, I can't even put a dent in it. No matter which team members I bring, we just can't put a single dent in it, and it sends us right back to the beginning only to have to fight it again. That's pretty much the reason why. I love the game, I love the boss, but it keeps kicking my butt so hard that I just can't stand it anymore. Number 4. Female God of War 2 bosses. Ladies, keep your clothes on. Number 3. The Spider, aka the Necromancer from Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a rather good challenge, especially for a first boss, but I just can't stand fighting that, mainly because not only did they do so well on making it look like a giant terrifying spider, but it can climb on the walls. It's bad enough when spiders can jump in a video game, but when they can actually crawl on the walls around you and they're pretty much 3 times the size of your character, then you've got a problem. It was so bad for me that I literally had to get my buddy Islaney to beat it for me because I was so terrified of the thing. I actually found the second boss to be far easier than the first boss. So if you ask me, that spider deserves a promotion. Number 2. The Siren. Rune Factory 1 and Rune Factory 4. Don't get me wrong, it does have a good design, and it does make a great companion once you actually do befriend it. But having to fight it is a living nightmare. Wanna know why? The reason why is because not only can your fisticuffs and short swords not reach it because it's in the middle of a flipping pond, so you have to go back, craft a bunch of long swords or lances, something that can actually reach the thing so you can actually hit it. Number 2, it can cause 3 different status effects, possibly all of them. It can put you asleep, it can poison you, paralyze you, and who knows what else. Number 3, although I probably said this already, it has a one-hit KO music note. Even if you are at a higher level than it is, it can knock you out in one hit, sending you back to Mr. Jones' office where you have to pay over $1 million just to be revived. Number 4, in Rune Factory 1, you can only get to this boss in Misty Bloom Cave during winter, because Misty Bloom Cave is surrounded by a motive zone. And if you somehow get trapped in Misty Bloom Cave by the time spring rolls around, you have to restart your entire game and do every single thing all over again because you got yourself stuck. Because once spring rolls around, you can't get out because the ice will have thawed and turned back to water, and you can't teleport out back then either. Also, back in the first game, you have to get rid of every single gate before you can even get to the boss. Yeah, so pretty much while you're trying to get to the boss, you also having to take care of every single monster and every single monster gate you come across, because the door won't open unless you do that. And in Misty Bloom Cave, there's about 150 monster gates you have to destroy. It's quite a tough challenge. Number 1, Gary Smith from Bully's Scholarship Edition. So, you remember in my intro when I list off the rules for what would allow a boss to qualify? Well, Gary Smith is the embodiment of all three. In my opinion, he's the ugliest character in the entire game, possibly in out of all the games I've played. 2, he has a horrible personality. Also, he's a big old backstabber, so you'll have to deal with a lot of that, thanks to Gary. And number 3, he has a stupid boss fight, where basically you're having to chase him up a building while he throws random crap at you, trying to knock you off and kill you. Don't get me wrong, I love the part where you get to finally reach him and get to beat the ever-living tar out of his face, but the rest of it is just a big old piece of annoyance. And if I ever were to see Gary Smith in real life, and if he ever were to talk to me or my family like he does to everyone else in Bully, I would have probably murdered him by now. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, please leave a comment down below. We would really appreciate it. Also, an especially big thank you to my boyfriend for helping me out with this video. Believe me when I say, telling people your opinion is actually harder than it looks, especially in front of a camera. So, thanks anyways. Bye-bye!
Bye.
I don't actually remember the name of this Pokemon, so of this boss, so I'm just gonna call it Bandfrog for now. Then later I'll write down the actual name. Gary Smith from Bully, not Scholastic Edition. Gary Smith from Bully Scholarship Edition.